Hi, Mystical Yogini here with Goddess Vibes, and I'm going to read my blog posting about money and learning to manifest through gratitude. This is something that's been a lesson for me my entire life, but especially the last 4 years. Also, it's my own fault because about 7 years ago I kept saying how I wanted to learn to live without money. So I almost have. This also has a lot to do with my current understanding of how I see the world transitioning. Right now, the way I see or currently understand is that there are two main paths that people are on. Or maybe I can only see two because I have only experienced two. The one path is a path of technology, and the path that I'm currently on is the path of nature. Perhaps if you aren't a nature person, this may not resonate with you. I would say that it all started a few years back with deodorant. A friend of mine had a friend who didn't wear it. She also didn't smell fantastic when we would go out dancing, and she would be sweaty, but she was beautiful inside and out, and a person that I think everyone loved. This woman helped me to realize that I was only wearing deodorant for other people and that I actually liked my scent. Diet has a lot to do with whether or not it stinks. This is the same with poop. If you're eating healthy, you don't really have the need for toilet paper. It's kind of funny how the things in life we think we cannot live without actually have quite simple solutions. Like, if you're unhappy with your life, then follow your heart. Okay, well, that one's easier said than done. And now I have another blog topic. All right, back on track. Learning to live without money. So, eliminating the capitalistic things like deodorant, shampoo, razors, tampons. What's really funny is I only listed like shower things. I love to clean myself and bathe. So that's a side note that's not on the blog. Also, just things moving so many times is super annoying, and it helps you learn to let go of the stuff, which is also what needs to be done energetically. Money was created as a form of control. Yes, it is in this world. Yes. Do we currently use it? Honestly, I don't use much, and I hope for and working to create a world where love or the barter trade system works as an exchange, if we need it. If we need it. Right, so we have everything we need. This was a difficult lesson for me, which began with gratitude. A few years ago, I was working hard, reading and watching videos and learning all that I could about manifesting. Money, love, the typical things that most of us are interested in. I didn't have much. I was around 30, living with my parents, couldn't get a job, was completely heartbroken and shattered because, yes, I'm going to throw this word out there, but I don't like it. Had been in a long 10-year, mostly long distance on-off relationship with someone who, after my awakening, I had given the title of twin flame. So I was fucking crushed. To make matters worse, before moving, I was living alone, which I prefer, working a job I enjoyed. I had just gotten to create my own position of everything that I wanted to do, which came with a raise. I could walk to the beach from my house and was mostly happy. At the time, I had a terrible relationship with my parents, and honestly, this was the last place I would ever have gone. But I wanted to move home to date this man that I had been loving from a distance for so many years. Well, this could be quite a different topic. Anyway, I was heartbroken, and I had moved home to save money. But all I did was watch my bank account dwindle. Where I was living before was quite remote, and I was fortunate to have a year-round job. This was a vacation area, so most of the locals would work 2 to 3 summer jobs and unable to work winters. The idea to move back to a more populated area came with many more job opportunities. My time was spent about 5 to 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, searching for jobs online, in person, working on my resume, etc., etc., etc. And I had a certain number of jobs, maybe 3 or maybe 5, that I made myself apply to each day. Some days more, some days many, many more. I was a very dedicated job searcher, but no interviews. Okay, about once every 3 to 4 months, I would get an interview. But then I would always be too honest. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? On a beach somewhere? Okay, thank you for your time. We have decided to move forward with another candidate. This went on for approximately 2 years, maybe a little more. It was not a fun way to live my life, in a constant cycle of misery and disappointment. There was a bit of money coming in, but not what I wanted or what I thought I needed. It was a really tough place in life. I was never happy and often was worrying about money and my heartbreak and just everything. Didn't get anything that I moved home to get. At the time, it felt as if all I got was a bunch of really difficult lessons. At the same time, life does that. So after all of the learning and research and trying to manifest, is manifesting even real? The one thing I hadn't tried was gratitude. Just be thankful for what you have. Sat down on the floor under my desk as if in hiding. Yes, I had a bedroom door, and yes, it was closed, but after living alone, having my parents across the hallway felt a bit crowding. No privacy there. It was like being a teenager all over again. Pretty sure my inner dialogue went something like this. Fuck. I fucking hate my life and I want to die every single fucking day. Seriously, what the fuck do I have to be thankful for? My life sucks. I don't have anything. I don't have any friends. No one understands me. I don't have anyone to talk to. I can hear the way my dad breathes, and all I want to do is fucking scream. It's driving me insane. All I want to do is be alone. Fuck Luke, the fucking asshole that stole my money and lied and broke my fucking heart. Fucking asshole. He knew he was going to break my heart. He did it anyway. He planned to break my heart. He didn't even have the fucking balls to tell me he was with someone when I told him I was moving here. Fuck. I don't have anything to be grateful for. But I was desperate. So fucking desperate to change my life. Because, well, I hated it and I wanted to die. So really the only option was dying, but I was too much of a coward for that. Or to get better. This was around the time that I had started seeing the number 8, I believe. So I decided to write 8 things I was grateful for, but I couldn't think of one. There were many more things I could list. More than 8 of what I wanted, but nothing to be grateful for. I'm not sure what I wrote or what I did. Maybe I found another video or piece of advice suggesting to make a list of things, even if you don't currently feel gratitude for them, because that's what I did. Then I would write things that I was thankful for as if I already had them. And that was hard to feel that feeling. You know, to be completely honest, I think it took a couple of days. After a bit of time and some dedication, there was a part of me that found this ritualistic and would write in my gratitude journal each night. In less than a month, I was filling 4 to 5 pages daily of the things I was thankful for. Then I decided to ask the universe for a job. I sat down and wrote exactly what I wanted. Work from home, create my own schedule, and whatever else, I am not sure. Less than a month, I received a job offer to work from home, and I got to select my hours. And this was also at a time that I had decided to take my yoga teacher training in my tiny hometown in the United States. I remember being quite shocked upon my return home when I first heard that there was a yoga studio, because I had grown up in a world where yoga was evil, and I suppose that I assumed my hometown was trapped in a time bubble, but thankfully it wasn't. Also, I'm very thankful to Cindy as well, and to the other instructors I met there or through there. You are such a beautiful part of my healing journey. All of you. Aaliyah, Jessica, the ladies from training, and all the wonderful, beautiful students. Rick comes to mind first. And then there's a big blank line. I know your name starts with an S. I'm pretty sure your birthday is August 21st. You have long, beautiful blonde hair. I don't know your name. I have no idea what your name is. You were my first one-student class, and she was so wonderful, and you would make an excellent yoga teacher, whatever your name is. Jane, who I wanted to spend time with but never did. I love you all. The kids, although there is so much of a love-hate relationship with kids yoga. The studio is a beautiful, special place full of loving souls and a great place to heal. For this, I am eternally grateful. But honestly, I wanted to go to India for the teacher training. Everything started to align, and I was almost forced into my teacher training. I knew moving in with my parents that it was going to be the next big step in my life. Just thought I was going to get to hang out with a man and then decide whether or not he was worthy of forming a partnership with, and I would leave my parents and just go. But the first step would be my teacher training. Instead, unplanned, everything in my life spiraled downward and was stuck in that deep, dark depression for about 2 years. At that time, if I didn't have the yoga studio, I would have died for sure. It was something I always had exactly enough money for every month. And I was so thankful that at the time, I didn't have to have a contract or pay with automatic withdrawal. One of my side hustles at the time was cash paying. I could afford to buy a monthly pass most months, or occasionally a 3-month pass, or my birthday would come around and I would ask to be gifted with yoga. Yoga was important for my healing, and it was always afforded a way for me to go. Probably another reason I kept showing up on the mat was because I was spending all of my money to get there. I would budget just enough for gas, and I knew if I went exactly so many times per week that I was getting my money's worth. So I kept showing up, and it kept helping me learn to heal myself. This was my second big journey with yoga. The first was the discovery. I'd also like to add that during that yoga process, it's not written in the blog, I actually I won and I earned the other. Actually, I earned the first one. I won the second one. But at a time I needed a new yoga mat and I couldn't afford one. And I didn't even want to ask for the kind that I wanted because I knew they were so expensive. So I was just slowly trying to save like $1, $5 at a time. And I actually ended up with 2 really nice yoga mats. So that goes into the manifestation thing as well. Through yoga networking, I was offered a position working with children once a week. It was right across the street from the yoga studio and fit into my yoga schedule. I remember receiving my first check in years. So the church wasn't paying much. There was a beautiful soul who wanted to help and give me a bit more to help make it worth my time. It would be a month or so before I would get the paycheck from the church. But this woman wrote me a check on the first day. The amount? $4. Yeah. You bet that one was kind of difficult to be grateful for. My teacher training was coming to an end, and I was offered a class before I even finished with the training. So soon there was money from that class coming in also, and within a month I was offered a second class. Kimberly and Grandma, whom I love and am so very thankful for, your entire family. We're easy to work around my yoga schedule, and I was still able to nanny and have income in that way. Was teaching yoga all the time and kept subbing for everyone, which would lead to new opportunities and new classes. And classes outside of the studio. It was amazing. All I was doing was simply doing what I loved and being who I am. Soon, there was more coming in than going out. Wow. That had been years since that had happened. Phew. Let's take a breath. It worked. The things I have manifested. Oh, wow, that's actually going to take too long. But for some of the larger ones just in the last year, a laptop, a car, a house, such a lovely cabin, tons of food for me and my dog, fresh, clean water, friends, and my soul family, people I actually know and can connect with. Because this was super rare for the first 30 years of my life. I'm 32 now. It's happening all the time, and it's so very lovely. Random money does come to me, but it's never in large quantities. So very thankful for this beautiful life that I've created. Over the years, I have lost a lot as well, but I have learned that anything I ask for will appear. The trick is to be very open with your requests. And yes, you have to be mostly clear in an energetic sense, because otherwise you're asking for this and getting that, because your subconscious is who is doing most of the work when manifesting is involved. So this is where awareness, intent, and honesty come into play. These are all very powerful words, and worthy of their own blog topics. So once the energetic body is clear of what I usually call the bullshit, the denser energy, the stuff that doesn't feel good in our bodies or emotions that are no longer serving us. When the subconscious mind is creating our dreams instead of the world's nightmare that most of humanity has been programmed to feed into, once you are in touch with you, that is when you will be able to successfully manifest. I'm not really loving that word right now, probably because I think it's misused and misunderstood and overused. Left that one out of the blog. Same with sex. Excuse me. It needs to be called something more along the lines of harmonic pleasures or feeling good in the stars. No, we can do better, guys. But sex just sounds so carnal. Ugh, I don't like it. Ugh. Okay. So for now, I am okay with using money, but it's not something I see or envision being a part of the life I'm living here on Earth. And I could see us very quickly phasing out of it. And no, I don't mean cryptocurrency. However, I guess that's the two worlds I see, the technological one and the natural one. This idea kind of circles back around to my understanding of having everything that we need. But our subconscious belief is telling us that we need to go to the store and have this or that. Even food, I see mostly phasing out of my life. And if I need it, it will be presented to me or appear as I'm walking around. If you made it this far, thanks, and I love you. Let's take a large breath of gratitude together. We'll inhale and fill in our gratitude into the heart. Slowly exhaling our loving gratitude out into the world. I love you all, and namaste.